Weekly Sauce, episode 53. Who do we have on last week? 52 with John Makdessi. John Makdessi, what a beauty. We potentially set up a fight between Nazrat and Hakbaraz and John Makdessi. We don't know yet. We're getting DMs from Nazrat because of the video that we posted. Very inconspicuous. He ignored our message, but we'll get him on. We'll get him to talk. But hopefully that fight happens. Two guys that train out of Montreal in the UFC. Hopefully that fight happens. That'll be a great fight. But as usual, this episode is brought to you by Mike's BBQ Rub. Visit Mike's BBQ Rub, MTL.com, and use Hot Sauce 10 for 10% off the entire site. And exclusively for this episode, it's also brought to you by Hot Streak. Now, if you're a listener of Weekly Sauce, if you're a listener of Hot Sauce Sports, you follow us, you like us everywhere. On Hot Streak, you go to Hot Streak on the App Store. You download the app specifically for the NBA. Use the promo code Hot Sauce. They'll double your initial deposit. What that means is if you deposit $50, they'll give you a $50 bonus. Now, how this app works is unbelievable because this is the first time for the Weekly Sauce listeners we're talking about it. And it's, you bet, I just actually lost $5. You bet $5, $5 to $10 on any combination of 2 or 3 players that are playing at the moment every 180 seconds. Example, I just made a bet that Trae Young and Ben Simmons were going to get over 0.5 points in the next 3 minutes. They both fucked me and they didn't get any of that, so I lost $5 because of that.
And you never bet on Simmons, man.
Never bet on Simmons. I learned that, and we're going to talk to and our guest today, Chris Brown, knows all too well that you never bet on Simmons. Chris Brown from Sports Talk with Chris. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, man, it's going great. Glad to be here. You know, quick shots at my guy, Ben. I'm going to defend him this time. But, man, I'm just glad to be here. Glad to talk sports. You know, it's always a pleasure.
It's, Ben's been playing great, man. I mean, it's, I have nothing to hate on with Ben. Like, everybody says he has no shot, but he's been playing really well. Even the nights that he doesn't play well, man, he's dishing it out. And I'm a fan. I'm a Ben fan these playoffs. And I think that most Sixers fans and most basketball fans are.
I mean, you have to be. With him, he has a specific role. He's the guy that's getting our shooters open. Because Tobias and Joel Embiid, they have tunnel vision. Their one job is to score, not get everybody involved. That's been Simmons' job. And when he decides to put his head down and go to the basket, he can't be stopped. Everybody says Rudy Gobert is the best defensive center in the league, and he gave him 42 with no jumper. The only criticism I have with Ben right now is the free throw shooting. He has to shoot at least 65, 70%. I mean, you can work on it. I don't care about a three-pointer. That's irrelevant to me. If you're going to shoot anything, shoot an elbow jumper, 18-foot jump shot. But right now, he's playing amazing. He's playing great defense with Trae Young, getting everybody involved. I just love to see it. Overall, great game.
The narrative about the Sixers was that Embiid and Simmons, like, individually are great. Together, they're not. And right now, they're proving a lot of people wrong.
It comes with Doc Rivers, our old coach, Brett Brown. I thank him for coaching the terrible team we had during that trusted process when we were trying to lose. But when he got the stars, he didn't coach them right. We never made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. He never put our players in the best position for them to succeed. That's why we see Joel Embiid averaging 28 and 10, having his best year, and Tobias Harris having his best year, and Seth Curry being great. He empowers all our players, and he puts them in the best spot for them to succeed, and our old coach didn't do that. That's why we're the number 1 seed in the East. That's why we played amazing this year, because Doc, except for game 1, has been a great coach.
See, the thing with Ben Simmons is I think people had way too high expectations of him when he came into the league. They thought he was gonna be like the next big point guards, and it just turned out that way. But he's pretty good defensively, and he's been showing, he's been a great player this year and in the playoffs. So let's see if he continues and if he can improve. Obviously, if he had a little bit more, a little bit better on 3 points, it would help a lot, because obviously more players would try to block him in the on offense. But Ben Simmons, so far so good. We'll see if he continues.
Well, that's the thing with Ben is that, like, I'm actually tired. I mean, I'm not even a Sixers fan. I'm far from it, and I'm actually tired of the narrative like he doesn't have a good shot, because the guy's been playing good, man. Like, the guy he's been playing. He's an all-star, man. He's one of the best players in the league. And I think everybody knew that, but everybody always has to find a reason to hate on somebody. And we found it with Ben. And no, there was the games where he choked when he was a little younger, but now it seems like he's fully matured his game. He's established what his game is. People haven't been able to match up against him that well. And the fact that he has Embiid that he can dish it to down the post, and like you said, Joel Embiid does not get half the amount of credit that he deserves for how he is on defense.
Yeah, I mean, like I look at those two guys and I laughed when the narrative came that they couldn't play together, but it's so simple. Your best two guys are 6'10" and taller, can defend, can run an easy pick and roll that can dominate. And I saw that this year work. When Joel Embiid posts up, you have him post up a one block. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons on the opposite block and shooters around him. That's hard to stop if you're a defense. That's very hard to stop. So I'm excited to see what these two guys do in the future because they're both under 27 years old. Yeah. And Doc Rivers has a 5-year contract. So I believe we have – honestly, I think we can still make the finals this year, but we got a 3 to 5 year window where I think these two guys are going to blossom together, and I think it's going to scare the league.
I think the Sixers – are a good matchup against the Nets. And I mean, I'm looking at the Nets now, even as a Giannis fan, I'm looking at the Nets, and after what they did to the Bucks last night, I'm like, forget it. There's no way the Bucks can bounce back from that. They might get a win, maybe 2, but I don't think that they have any amount of firepower to match up with the Nets.
So we've experienced last week the elimination of the Lakers. It was hard for me, okay, because I like the Lakers. Look, I'm not a diehard Lakers fan, but I like the Lakers. Like, the thing everyone's saying is, LeBron's not doing the effort. But correct me if I'm wrong, but when was the last time a 36-year-old guy was expected to lead his team that much? He even came out and said earlier, right before the playoffs, there's no way I'm going back to 100% to old LeBron James after my injuries. And the media and the fans just start chirping and be like, he's not giving enough effort. But reality is he's not the old LeBron James anymore. He's a new LeBron James who's not going to be the primary, scorer. Like, the one who really needed during that series for me is Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis was injured, and I believe that's part of the reason why the Lakers lost.
Oh, definitely.
What do you guys think?
I mean, for me, I can't say that about LeBron because pre-injury, he was the MVP candidate, probably the favorite. Before he messed up his ankle against the Hawks, he was playing like a top 3 guy in the league, dominated with no Anthony Davis, and he was still a top 3 seed. I think a high ankle sprain, you don't come back from that fast. A high ankle sprain, you're supposed to be out for a long time. So when he came out and said the comments, I won't be 100%, he cleared that up on his own show saying, once you play your first practice in NBA, you're never 100% again. But he said he'll get back to that 99.9. And like I said, before the injury, he was playing like a top 3 guy. And now you tell him to play 70% by himself. Next year, I fully expect LeBron to be an MVP. Don't matter. But when I say MVP type season, I think he's going to dominate the league next year. He was dominating it before the injury. So now you're telling him he has a full off season to get healthy. And Anthony Davis a full off season to get healthy. They're going to take the league by storm next year.
Well, if he's not too focused on Space Jam.
I mean...
And the Goon Squad.
I mean, he's been focusing on that stuff when he was with Cleveland and Miami, and it still didn't stop him from going 9 straight finals.
Oh, for sure,
I think it's just getting blown up right now because he's in L.A. and everybody wants him to be... LeBron, there's nobody that had the expectations of LeBron. He came in at 18, and they told that man, if you're not an all-time great, if you don't do this, that, and that, your career is a bust. He exceeded every single expectations, and yet they still say, oh, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do that. Well, who has checks all those boxes? Because some of the boxes they give for LeBron, other superstar great players haven't checked yet. And so I feel like LeBron, they're holding him to a pedestal nobody else has been held to, and they're taking his greatness for granted, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree, man. Sorry, Alex, go on. I'll get to you my anti-LeBron rant after.
I just want to quickly. What's going to be important for Lakers this year, this offseason, I mean, is get a great point guard. I think that's what they're really missing. Mm-hmm. Dennis Schroeder, as much as I like him, but he's not your starting caliber point guard to win a championship. He's more of your luxury bench player, your sixth man. And I don't think the Lakers have that point guard to lead them to the championship. So I think they need a point guard to get that to a level.
Oh, Schroeder was a great acquisition though. Like it was a solid acquisition. I forgot what the price was on him, but it was a solid acquisition. But yeah, if you can go out and get a guy that's going to be able to give you like legit top point guard minutes, then go ahead and do it, because Schroeder, as good as he is, he's a secondary third, if not third option. My issue with LeBron isn't that I give LeBron all the respect in the world. I still think he's the best player of all time. Like I'll never say otherwise. I just hate the begging for attention, begging for respect, faking the injuries, not faking the injuries, faking like fouls, like flopping. Like he always has to make it about him. He wins the championship last year. I want my damn respect. Like everybody respects you, LeBron. That's the thing you don't realize. But like he's like Baker Mayfield. He wants people to leave him alone, but he wants people to respect him, and he gets mad when people don't respect him. So he's like on both sides of it. You know what I mean? And that's the part that about. Not that he's the talented as Baker Mayfield. I'm not comparing him. I'm not comparing his athletic ability and his successes to Baker Mayfield. I'm comparing how he is as a person. He's a little bit of a baby. He's very cheesy. And this is a new Terry Tam opinion on LeBron James, because a year ago I would have said LeBron James, you can do anything to me, and I don't give a fuck. He's the best. He's the nicest guy. But I look at him lately, and I see like the desperate. I want my attention. I deserve my damn respect.
I mean, damn, that's everybody in the league. Though. Everybody is flopping to get calls, and then with the respect, you can't say everybody respects him when guys like Skip Bayless, every single segment he says is about disrespecting LeBron. So like, guys, a lot of people in the media that disrespect, don't give that man his credit. I feel you more people do. Now, I'm not even gonna say that, because you go on Twitter, you search LeBron, 50, everybody's hating on him. Everybody's hating on him. And so I'm glad that he said I want my respect, because he deserves his respect.
He does.
Came in at year 18. Then I see people saying bubble frauds. That is the dumbest thing of all time, because a lot of people that claim that the Miami Heat and the Lakers were bubble frauds, your team was in the playoffs and they lost. So if that makes them bubble frauds, what the hell was your team?
Yeah, like imagine like me as a Pacers fan. I'm like, they're fake. But if the Pacers won, I'd be like, you're fucking right, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The same thing with the Sixers until Ben Simmons messed up his knee. Like, you can't call a team bubble frauds, but your team was in the bubble too and they lost. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I just think it's crazy, man. A lot of fans, sometimes they have no idea what they're talking about. They listen to guys on TV that have no idea what they're talking about, and everybody gets a misconstrued narrative. You have
to distinguish the difference between some of the media like around there, and I'm a bit like that too. Like I'll hate a little bit too much. Like we'll get like extra clicks and things like that, and I can only imagine the level that Skip Bayless is on. Where Skip Bayless is like, the only way I stay relevant is if I hate him.
If I talk about LeBron.
Yeah. Anything LeBron does, he puts on his shoes the wrong way, I'm ripping on him. He eats a burger, he takes 2 bites instead of 1, I'm ripping on him. Like that's what he is. Stephen A is the only guy in like mainstream media that I respect about his basketball opinion. No other sports.
Yeah, that's right. And then I saw something real quick about Skip. He put on Twitter, Kawhi and the Clippers Game 7 victory in the first round was more important than LeBron and them come back from 3-1 in the finals.
He just likes to talk shit.
I lost it after that. I don't even watch that show no more, because it just doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense at all.
I can honestly say I've never seen a full episode of Undisputed, and I've never seen a full episode of Stephen A and Skip Bayless. I've never seen a full episode of First Take. I don't think. I think
just watch YouTube clips now. I just watch what I want to watch. I can't watch the entire show. I get frustrated.
No, fuck that shit. I can't listen to Max Kellerman talk about basketball.
Oh, man.
Max Kellerman is the
I respect
worst.
him in boxing. I respect the hell out of him in boxing.
I agree.
But sometimes it's like, I don't even want to talk about it because I get a headache with this.
When wait, what was the question? Max. I forgot who asked Max Kellerman the question, but who would you choose to shoot the
game on the line, Iguodala and Curry.
Iguodala. I want Andre Iguodala.
Listen, Iggy he's hit some big shots.
I got a signed Iggy autograph that he gave to me for my birthday. I got a signed Iggy when he was with the Sixers, signed Iggy jerseys. Steph Curry 1,050%. I want taking that shot over Iguodala. He made no sense taking that, man.
Iggy has taken some big shots, and he's a great player. He's like one of those championship type of guys. Like if you're going to make a championship run, get guys like Iguodala, get guys like Rajon Rondo, like get those guys, you know. But he's not taking my last shot if I have Steph Curry on my roster. Steph Curry changed the way basketball is played.
I'm a Steph hater, by the way. Full disclaimer. I want to say hater because I like Steph when he's first coming up. I just hate how the media pushes him up and doesn't give other guys like Dame and Luka their credit, who I believe are better than Steph. But that's another story.
Well, I mean, listen. Sorry, Alex. Luka, better player than Steph. He's not a better shooter than Steph is.
Yeah, but I'd rather take the better player than the better
I agree. Though. Yeah. I'm not putting Steph in my top 5. But I'm saying he changed the way basketball is played.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he definitely changed the way for the good and bad because it's giving guys that can now shoot a better platform, but now everybody wants to come a shooter. But I don't blame Steph for that because he did his role to the best of his ability, and he's going to go down as an all-time great because of it.
Absolutely.
So we heard rumors about Steph Curry joining the Lakers. I want you guys to tell me, is it a pipe dream or is it actually happening?
For me, I'll say pipe dream because I believe the Warriors are going to come out the West. This is my hot take. The Warriors, they have their own lottery pick. They're possibly going to get the Timberwolves lottery pick. So you got 2 lottery picks and a whole bunch of players like Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, James Wiseman, and guys like that you can trade. In the next 2 off seasons, all the superstars are going to be available. They can get whoever with 2 lottery picks, you can get any unhappy superstar. I believe. I don't see Steph leaving.
Could be Giannis. It could be Giannis moving too.
I wanted Giannis to go to the Mavericks last offseason.
Oh, that would have been so sick.
Him and Luka would have killed the league.
And KP takes a little bit of a back roll, like a back.
Oh, he got to go. He's making too much money to be David Bertans. But when he was healthy in a bubble, he played great. But now he's just a guy making $30 million, 7'3", that's taking 7 shots a game. Man, that's a waste. He got to go.
A funny story about Bertans is that I've been on the Hot Streak app. I've been playing Bertans. I've been betting on Bertans to get me a fucking rebound. I must have bet him like 10 times. I'm not even lying, and he never gets points.
He's a 6'8" shooting guard that just stands by the 3-point line. It goes down though. He's one of the best shooters in the game.
But he can't get points.
No, not against a good defensive team. He struggles. He got to shoot it from deep.
Is he that good of a shooter? For real?
I mean, last year he was shooting like 9 3-pointers on 39-40% shooting clip. Like when he get tired, I seen him against the Sixers hit 4 back to back. He's a very good shooner, but if he's missing, he brings no value to your team.
So I'm not a big basketball guy. Like I follow basketball, but I'm not like I don't know like David Bertans. I didn't know about him until I saw him on this app that I'm gambling on. Hot Streak app. Use Hot Sauce promo code. They'll match your bonus. They'll match your initial deposit.
Might have to make some money myself.
There you go. You'll probably fucking make a killing. For real, if I'm making money on it, then Chris, you'll clean up, guaranteed. So. I don't know really that much about basketball, like those obscure players and stuff. And when I heard that, like he reminds me of like when I heard Ken Bazemore was maxed out contract. I heard about this a couple weeks ago on our other show, and I lost my mind. Ken Bazemore was a max player.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's a max player. He probably got a handsome contract, but for me, he's just a very good role player. He's a very good role player, but I mean, I doubt he got the max. There's no way somebody paid Ken Bazemore the max because you're talking about a guy that's giving you 8 points and some good defense. I mean, he's a role player. He's a role player that, for me, on my team, he wouldn't start. On the Sixers, he's not starting at all.
No, yeah, I agree.
But on some teams, he could definitely start and be a 3-and-D wing.
So your Sixers are playing the Hawks now. It looks like they're going to win their second game. Calling full sweep. Is Trae Young going to be able to bounce back with a game, 2 games? What do you think?
I see it going 6. I personally said at the beginning of the season the Hawks were going to be a 6 seed. People called me crazy, but I said please look at their roster. They have everything you need. They just don't have the experience. And so when Nate McMillan took over as the head coach, and they've been one of the best teams for the past couple of months because he's preaching defense. He's preaching and executing, passing the ball. Trae Young not just dribble. Everybody's getting involved. They got 4 or 5 guys that are 6'7" and taller that can shoot threes and that can guard multiple positions. So it's going to be a tough series. Like we were just up, I think like 23-6, and they came back. Now they're down 10. I think it's going 6. I don't see Atlanta winning. Sixers are going to capitalize. Listen, we have 3 of the best players on the court. Out of 5, that's when every team got 5. Our starting lineup is better. The only guy they got over us is Trae.
Oh, Trey's fucking nasty. So out of the East, we're looking at the Sixers. Out of the West, what are we looking at?
Ooh, I don't even know. I'm not even that. Right now, I still think Brooklyn is the team.
Yeah, okay.
Brooklyn is definitely the team to beat. But Philly, I think, has a chance to beat them or Milwaukee. Brooklyn's probably going to win that series. But out of the West, I'm stuck between the Clippers and the Suns. I said the Suns was going to be the second seed, and I picked Devin Booker for MVP. Again, people called me crazy, but look how things work out, And so I think right now what the Suns are bringing and them going against the Nuggets, DeAndre Ayton is playing great defense against Jokic, who just won MVP, by the way. He's playing great defense against him. Chris Paul put up, I think, 16 points in the fourth quarter. You only got 12 shots from Devin Booker. So if your best player is only taking 12 shots and you win, that easily, then the sky is only the limit for them. But the Clippers, they have Kawhi, and Kawhi is the top 5 player in the game.
Yeah.
Because he's giving it to you on both ends, and he's scoring, he's getting to his spots. And if Paul George can play like an all-star, give you 24, because for me, Paul George, if we talking about talent-wise, is probably a top 10 talent in the league. He's just never consistent. He's 6'8", 6'9", that can guard almost every position with handle, that can shoot, that has vision, but he has to play like that every night. If he plays like that every night, the Clippers, to me, are coming out the West.
So you're a Philly kid, so you're a boxing fan, right? I assume.
Yes.
Yeah. When you're from Philly,
I'm getting back into boxing now. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're from Philly, you have to be a boxing fan.
Oh yeah.
It's not because of Rocky, but just in general. This is a great boxing.
I've been at the statue, man.
Oh yeah.
I've only been to the statue when they moved it down.
I try working out on those steps, and I give the producers credit for making that look how it was, because it wasn't that bad.
It's not that bad, right? I walked it. I was like, this isn't
not
that bad.
Well, it depends on the workout you did. I did a crazy workout, but that's neither here nor there. Everybody should experience working out on the steps and throw your fists up like Rocky.
Absolutely,
the best experience.
So what are you thinking? What are you thinking about your boy Floyd and Logan Paul this weekend?
I mean, full disclosure, I didn't pay for it, and everybody that paid for it, I feel bad for you.
I paid for it. I paid for it. Didn't even watch it.
Oh man, I feel even worse for you. And I saw something where I think Showtime is giving out refunds. Like, I knew what it was going to be. Yeah. Right. And I saw, first of all, shout out to Chad Ochocinco, because he boxed. He did amazing.
Yeah, he did.
Got dropped. He got dropped, but he literally stood right back up 1 second later. So for me, he won that fight. But the Floyd and Logan Paul, Logan disappointed me. All that training went out the window. And I know you're going against the greatest boxer, but you should have left it all out on there. I'm seeing the rumors that, it was, in the contracts that they couldn't knock out each other. I call BS. Yeah. I definitely call BS. Because for me, Logan, yes, your name got hyped up, but I don't take you serious at all as a boxer. Yes, you're going to be a great prize fighter. You and your brother are going to be probably the top prize fighters, but you look like a bum boxing against Floyd. Like, I know Floyd is Floyd, but Conor McGregor looked 10 times better than what 100%. Logan Paul did.
There's no doubt.
Logan Paul is 6'2", 200 pounds, and Floyd, like, it's a full clip. I'm going to send it to you guys. Floyd hit him right in the chin.
Yeah, I saw it.
You can see, and you can look at it like, Floyd was going for the knockout, and Logan was just laying on him. Like, Logan, where is all that power and that strength you was talking about? All that stuff you was talking, it went out the window. Jake Paul saying Floyd is 50-1. You're side of yourself. Your brother got beat the hell up. The stats are crazy. He landed only 13% of his punches, and he threw 100 more. I mean, I don't know why people pay for it. I'm not paying for a Floyd exhibition at all, because I know what I'm going to get. Floyd doesn't have, now yes, he caught him, but Floyd doesn't have the knockout power anymore. So if he starts fighting guys that been in the boxing scene for 5+ years, I'm not saying he's going to lose, but I'm just saying I don't know if Floyd's really knocking anybody out anymore.
Also, Floyd wasn't really like a knockout artist. He was
early in his career. He was,
yeah, when he was Pretty Boy.
Yeah, when he was Pretty Boy, but like right at like 2006, 2007, and that's when he started becoming more defensive.
Yeah, exactly. But not only that is that he knocked some guys out, but it was because he just gassed them out. Like he was, he
gassed out Logan.
Oh, for Logan sure. Too much weight.
And I'm not but like he did everything right. You go to the body, and he was killing him in the body, and he was catching Logan. Like, I really wish Floyd would have moved out and just let Logan fall.
Yeah, Floyd was having fun, man. Honestly,
he was.
The way I see it was well. Look, the first 2 rounds, Floyd did not. I don't think Floyd threw a punch. I think 1 punch in the first 2 rounds. I think it was just. I think personally, he was just analyzing him, or like giving him or actually even giving him a shot. But Floyd, let's be honest, the best defensive boxer of all time.
Yes.
Good luck hitting him. Okay, he proved it this past fight, and. Insane. And I have nothing else to say about Floyd. Logan Paul, clearly he really lacked skill in that fight. Yeah,
he was going against the greatest boxer of all time, though.
And it's also in the contract that no judges, like, they knew what that fight was.
But that's why I said it wasn't entertaining for me, because I'm expecting a knockout. The ounce gloves, I think it was 10 or 12 ounce gloves. It was only knockouts, no judges. I'm going there. He said, I hope everybody's entertained. I sure as hell wasn't. I wasted 3 hours of my life. I'm thank God I didn't pay for it. I expected a knockout. The undercards were better than this.
Yeah. I thought the Ochocinco fight was more entertaining than that.
The Ochocinco fight was amazing for a guy that Ochocinco held his own against a guy that does bare knuckle UFC.
I love how after Ochocinco was like, "I'm a street fighter." Like, okay, well, you didn't show much of that there, Ocho. Mm-hmm. But listen,
what do we think? What do we think of the Julio Jones trade? And are the Titans actually going to win this time around?
He came out. He's gonna wear number 2.
Oh, that's tough. And I saw he declined AJ Brown. He let AJ Brown keep number 11. I think that's great right there. I wanted him to go to the Patriots. The Patriots are my dark horse, and I feel like if he went there, they would have been the favorites for me to come out to AFC. I knew he was going to the AFC, not NFC. I like what they have over there in Tennessee. I feel like their defense still is a question mark right now. But offensive-wise, you lost your tight end. You lost a wide receiver, but you bring in Julio. I mean, let's be honest. When Julio's healthy, he's a top 3 wide receiver. Him, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, have fun trying to beat these guys. Ryan Tannehill, do your job. And they can, like, with the Bills, nobody expected the Bills to be in the AFC Championship last year because all they got was Stephon Diggs. Their defense was not the same like it was the year before, and right now I think the Tennessee Titans could have the same type of path.
So let's figure out that division. So the Texans, forget about them; they're cooked, they're done. There's no
forget about them.
Yeah,
forget about the Jags.
Forget about the Jags. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to do much this year, but I do expect him to have a good rookie season, like rookie of the year season.
I think they can win maybe 6 games, 5, 6 games.
Yeah, like I'm looking like at a Justin Herbert performance, maybe 20, 22 touchdowns, with maybe 15 interceptions, something like that. But then it's between the Colts and the Titans. And the Colts,
I like the Colts.
Yeah.
I like the Colts.
Yeah.
I've been liking the Colts for years.
I mean, it's going to be tough. It's just going to be tough to see what they can do, but against the Titans twice. But those are the games. Whoever wins those matchups, they're going to win the division, because whoever wins the division is going to be like 10-7, whatever it's going to be, and they're going to win, man. And the Colts are like a legit dark horse team this year, and I don't think people realize that.
Oh yeah, the Colts got significantly better, adding a better quarterback, securing another O-lineman after you want to retire, making the defense better. They got better on all fronts. So I feel like people are sleeping on the Colts yet again. And they're going to wake up this year.
I'm just skeptical of Wentz, man. Listen, he's a good quarterback. The big question mark with Carson Wentz, it's his health.
He stayed healthy last year.
Yeah.
If he can,
and he got sacked more than anybody. And
if 14, he can hold up.
14 different. I just want to point this out. I know you're not wrong. He played terrible last year. Everybody talked about his health. He stayed healthy when he got sacked the most out of anybody, hit the most out of anybody. He had 14 different starter offensive line units in 16 games. Never been heard of. He had a different online unit almost every game.
It's tough.
No quarterback has ever had to deal with that.
It's tough, and
he do nothing with the bad O line.
Who's he throwing to? What receivers are getting? Getting separation.
Our receivers were poop. Our plays, it was the same plays every single time. No different diversity with the play calling. He was set up for failure. He's going over there with the Colts. You got 2 guys that can give you 1,000 yards. You got a great offensive line. You have proven wide receiver weapons. You got a head coach that you and him made magic together, and you were going to win an MVP if you didn't, a guy didn't go helmet right to your knee and tear your ACL up.
So hold on. So you're not happy with Jalen Hurts taking over the job?
I love Jalen Hurts. I was a fan of Jalen Hurts in college, and Doug Peterson is gone. I love you, Doug. You won us a championship, but your play call in the past 2 years have been terrible. We bring in a Colts OC. He's the head coach. What he did the past couple of years with the Colts were amazing. Phillip Rivers, 4,000 yards, plus you had a 1,000-yard rusher. We brought in the old OC from the Chargers, and look what he did with Justin Herbert. You're bringing all that with this quarterback. We bring in Devontae Smith. Our offensive line gets healthy. I think Hurts is going to have 20-plus touchdowns, about 3,600 yards, maybe 10 touchdowns on the ground. I love Hurts.
I'm looking forward for Cowboys and Eagles this year.
Oh, yeah.
Every year, I look forward to watching a smack on the Cowgirls. Except for the last, I don't know what happened. We was up 14-3, and they went on a 34-3 run. I almost broke my TV watching that game. That was terrible.
Man, it's that division is so garbage, and as a Cowboys fan, I love it. That's how bad
I
the
love it
division
too.
is. Defending champs, the Washington football team. It doesn't even make sense. Defending NFC East champs, the Washington football team, when you have the Eagles, who are 3 years removed from winning a Super Bowl. The Cowboys, okay, they lost Dak. Like if Dak was there, I think everybody knows.
That won the division, probably.
The Cowboys won the division. Yeah, Dak is too good. It's a different division, man, and it's like the Giants look good. I like the Giants.
On paper, the Giants look good, except for Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, people keep hyping him up. He's not even a top 20 quarterback for me. And so
give the guys respect. The guys are good, man.
I can start listing quarterbacks, man, and I'm taking them all over Daniel. I can start listing them by the name, you know.
Okay, who would you put ahead of Daniel Jones? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just curious to know what your list is.
Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers, Wilson, Watson, Tannehill.
I mean, is Deshaun Watson really going to put him in the picture here?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr.
Yeah. Derek Carr. I would put Derek Carr. And it's not that I'm a hater on Derek Carr.
Man, it's only balled every year of his career, man. But the coach that don't like him, and they keep making the team worse every year.
And he threw for like 4,500 yards last year. It's not the thing about Derek Carr. It's not that I don't like him. It's that when I say I'd rather this quarterback than, let's say, when the whole Colin Kaepernick thing was going, I'm like, if I was a team, I wouldn't take Colin Kaepernick. And they're like, why not? I'm like, there's so many other quarterbacks I'd rather take that are going to do the job that he's going to take. I mean, and that he's going to do. And they're like, at that point, Trubisky was like a year. It was just like his second.
Trubisky's trash.
No, that's what I'm saying. But listen, so my example was, we don't know what Trubisky was at that moment. He was still a rookie. We don't know what Trubisky is. He was a first round pick. So in that moment, I would rather take Trubisky over Kaepernick. In that moment, because Trubisky he's a young guy. Like the same thing with Justin Herbert. He hasn't really proven anything. He looked great last year, but is he actually better than Daniel Jones?
Way better. Daniel Jones has better weapons.
We don't know.
Daniel Jones has way better weapons. He had 2 years. He didn't get better his second year. Look at the stats. He's still throwing 10 touchdowns.
What do you mean better weapons? What receivers does Daniel Jones have over Justin Herbert having Keenan Allen? Keenan Allen is like the most underrated receiver in the history of the NFL.
Give me Sharp is good. I forget. I don't look at the golden whatchamacallit. I don't look at the Giants' weapons. But now listen. Now you got Kenny Golladay. You got Evan Ingram.
Yeah, that's true.
You got Sharp.
Evan Ingram. He's a beast.
And you got it's a couple guys that I'm not.
Barkley stays healthy. Maybe different.
Barkley. It's another guy. I can't think of his name right now. But you draft the guy from Georgia. I mean the guy from Florida.
Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, he has all the weapons. And watch, he only throw 1,700 yards. 11 touchdowns.
Well, we'll see what he does with Kadarius Toney this year, because a lot of people are saying he's gonna be like the sneakiest pick of this draft.
This wide receiver draft for me was
nuts.
It was beautiful. I don't understand how you didn't come out to draft any team drafting a wide receiver that couldn't have an immediate impact. I had guys graded the 4th, 5th round that could start on some team.
So last point, and I was hated on this. We did a live mock draft, and I hated on Devontae Smith. Not that I hate the player, I just think that he is gonna get blown up like this Lysol paper. This is what he looks like on.
Chad Johnson was playing. Chad Ochocinco was playing at 160 and couldn't get touched.
Chad Johnson was also 6'3" with extension and a completely different
era. During the hidden era, he wasn't getting touched. T.Y. Hilton don't get touched. It's a lot of small
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson was going to be Hall of Famer. And he played in a hard hitting era.
I just don't see it. I think that if what's his name wasn't injured, I don't think Devontae Smith wins Heisman. There's a lot.
That's true. I mean, that's because Alabama they have 7 stars on their team.
Yeah, so Alabama's an NFL team, right? And Alabama could beat any CFL team, I think.
Probably. Yeah, quarterback's never paying out though, except for Hurts.
We'll see with Mac Jones.
Man, I didn't like that pick at all.
No.
The guy that I wanted him to get, ironically, they got in the second round, Christian Baltimore, defensive tackle from Alabama. Because when I look at the Patriots, the reason why they're my dark horse, and I said they got Julio, they're my favorite. They got in 6 guys that returned from the COVID list last year that didn't play. Every single position on defense, they check the box. They added in Matthew Judon. You added in Van Noy. You got outside pass rushing. Now you're bringing a guy in the middle for Barmore. The offense, you add in 4 new wide receivers and 2 tight ends. All they did was improve.
That's a good point. What do you think about the Ravens? What are the Ravens going to do this year?
I mean, you know, my mom's side of the family is Ravens fans, and I can say this. Right now, I'm blaming the offensive coordinator if this thing don't work. I don't understand. Get Lamar Jackson some wide receivers. You brought in Sammy Watkins. You drafted Terrence Marshall. But, I mean, for me, that's still not enough. And then when I look at what they lost on the defensive end, they have no more pass rushers. You traded for Ngakoue, he leaves. Judon leaves. Your best pass rushers are now old. I think if you don't have a pass rush, if you can't get after the quarterback in the NFL today, you're going to struggle. And right now, the Ravens have the back end. They don't have consistent young pass rushers up there front. They all left the free agency.
Well, they drafted who they drafted?
Jason Oweh.
Jason Oweh from Penn State. You should know him.
But right now, what I want us to do is sign Justin Houston because he's still free agent, and I think that's the move.
And as soon as they signed to the Ravens, we messaged Des Walker and we're like, "Hey, get Justin Houston on the show."
I would love that.
Oh man, that'd be great. I think you would do the entire interview with a boner.
Of course.
I'm still mad they let Des Bryant go.
Yeah,
Des Bryant was killing them all in practice. They didn't use him at all. They didn't want to pass. That's my problem with the Ravens. It's not on Lamar. It's on the coaching staff because Lamar won a Heisman for a reason. He has an arm. Y'all just call the same simple plays, and y'all didn't bring in no
maybe
weapons,
they know.
so
Maybe they see something in Lamar that we don't see. That they see, like maybe they don't trust that he can make all those throws. I don't know. I like Lamar. I'm a fan. I was a hater of him coming into the league, but I'm sold. I think he's a great player. But maybe they see something.
Back, man. The team going to struggle if they keep holding him back.
But I don't think they're holding him back.
They just let Mike Vick go. You just gotta with your great players. You have to let them go. You keep trying to put them in a box. Like their offense is predicated on running 2 out of the 3 times. But so if I get you on 3rd and 12, I got you beat.
Yeah,
I got the Ravens beat. If it's 3rd and 13, I got them beat because the coaching staff don't trust the wide receivers to give me, a post. Don't trust the wide receivers to give me a dig because they do the simple routes and they have no weapons. Hollywood Brown shouldn't be your team's number 1. Willie Snead should not be your team's number 1. That had to be addressed.
So I think that when John Harbaugh in the first year, I mean, we saw what Lamar Jackson did his rookie year, right? It was unreal. John Harbaugh told him, like, you do you, and we'll build everything around you. Now it looks like they've built it, and now they're kind of adjusting. And it's like, let the guy do what he knows how to do. The only thing was with that style quarterback we saw with Kaepernick, we even saw with Michael Vick in his sophomore year, is that people get figured out. Even Cam Newton, people get figured out really quickly. So they have to adjust, and he has to make more throws out of the pocket to show his guys, his coaches, that he's going to be able to get it downfield. And maybe they'll invest the money in a number 1 receiver next year. Odell Beckham wants to get out of Cleveland, it looks like. So, I mean, why not go after a guy like ODB? That'd be great.
Odell still is better than anything they got over there.
Yeah, exactly. It's always an improvement.
Let's just be real. Like,
right now we're working with young receivers. Yeah, we have Marquise Brown, who's going to be in his Hollywood 4th year.
He's not a number 1 though. He's
and we drafted Rashad Bateman. Bateman.
And I say this: I love the wide receivers you drafted. Earlier we were talking about the wide receiver draft. I love all the wide receivers you drafted, but they just better have an immediate impact.
We'll see.
It's a tough fucking division with Big Ben back. The Steelers looking good.
I don't know about the Steelers.
Oh, the Browns, they're winning the division
at least.
The Steelers are winning the division.
Browns winning 12 to 13 games easy.
Man, I hope the Browns do well, man. I was happy that they won a playoff game finally.
Oh, me too. I mean, I predicted that was going to happen, but not the way it did. Oh, the Steelers went out so sad.
They hit the sickest jerseys. What are you going to do? All right, Chris, man, that was awesome. I mean, we could talk about football. We haven't spoken about football in a long time, Alex.
I know. I can't wait till the season comes up, man. We're going to have a lot to discuss.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We'll talk about the Cowboys beating the
Aaron Rodgers not going to be a Packer probably by the time the season starts.
Maybe he'll be an Eagle.
A Bronco.
Oh, man. I mean, the Broncos. Real quick, I wanted him to go to the Broncos or the 49ers so bad. You had all that draft value you could have gave
the Niners. They fucked up, man. They fucked up.
Oh my God, they're so stupid. The Packers are stupid too. The Broncos as well, but the Packers, you just
yeah.
Jordan Love.
Not a fan. All right, man. Well, I mean, this episode again brought to you by Mike's BBQ Rub MTL. Visit Mike's BBQ Rub MTL.com and use hot sauce 10 for 10% off the entire site. Also, exclusively this episode, because Chris is on, it's brought to you by Hot Streak. So go to Hot Streak, download the app. Your initial deposit is matched as a bonus. You bet two to three players minimum. You bet between $1 and $10 every 180 seconds if you're going to get an assist, a point, a rebound, whatever. Any increment of points in the next 180 seconds, and you win money. I'm already up. Chris is going to become a millionaire off of this, guaranteed. Use hot sauce for the promo code, or you don't get that bonus. Hot sauce for the promo code. Hot Streak app on the App Store. I appreciate it, Chris. That was awesome, man. Where can they reach you?
Oh, yes, you can find me on Instagram at Twitter at sportsw_Chris. sportsw_Chris. I have a weekly podcast also on All Sports, All Plays Network on Facebook every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Good stuff. Alex, as usual, I appreciate it, buddy. Peace.